Hi, this is Airchecks.com founder Steve West. You're really going to enjoy this audio documentary I'm working on. The Top 40 Years covers music radio and the musical memories of generations of bands who listened from around 1960 to the turn of the 21st century. 40 years of rock, pop, and Motown, and an in-depth look at the music of the Beatles and other supergroups and super artists. Check back often. It's coming sometime this summer to Airchecks.com and our classic YouTube channel, Airchecks Classic Radio. And now, the 2007 Big 89 Rewind continues with Jeff Davis.
Best music, WLS.
And now, more of the Big 89 Rewind with Jeff Davis.
Music Radio, WLS, Chicago.
The WLS Big 89 Rewind and Jeff Davis, and a show that's nearly 22 years in the making. Now, I wasn't working on it that long. I'm just a little slow. Here's Todd Rundgren on WLS.
Hello.
WLS Music Radio and Jeff Davis Big 89 Rewind, having a lot of fun. Man, everybody's sounding so great. And the music, you just don't hear this music anymore. Coming up tonight at 6, it's the triumphant return of John Records Landecker, my good friend, with a special edition of Boogie Check. And then Tom Ken at 10 o'clock, all part of the Big 89 Rewind on Music Radio WLS. If you grew up listening to WLS in the music radio era, you remember that a big part of the Big 89 was excellent news coverage.
From the WLS News Bureau, the Lyle Dean Report. Good morning. At 9:25, how was Angela Davis discovered? Attorney General Mitchell. 9 degrees below zero under mostly clear skies in Chicago. A $12 million 1970 teachers contract is won final ratification by a whopping 6-1 margin. The contract. Jeffrey Hendricks reporting for the Big.
This is Linda Marshall, WLS News. And for the second time in 3 months, the body of a young woman, an apparent murder victim, has been found dumped in suburban Skokie. Shortly before...
WLS News. A tie-breaking lottery was held today at City Hall to see who'd get the top spot on the February 25th mayoral primary ballot. And all of the bills
Today's WLS News team continues to break the biggest stories.
Good morning, I'm John Dempsey.
With award-winning coverage you might not expect from a talk station.
Jennifer Kuiper.
Indiana, Ryan Herman.
In the newsroom, David Jennings, WLS.
I'm Jim Johnson, WLS News.
In fact, just last week, WLS News was honored with nominations for Best Newscast and Best Breaking News coverage by the Illinois Broadcasters Association. Now more than ever, for breaking news and your place to talk about it, remember 890 AM WLS.
WLS, saluting the people who help make the Big 89 even bigger. Chuck Buell.
Hot time, that's my time, baby. It's all right. 9:15 at WLS. Steam it. Na, hey, 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 hey.
More music, WLS.
We got music, baby. That's all right. It's a message. 919 WLS. Going for 4 downs at 924 WLS and Chuck Buell, baby.
Chicago Giant, where the beat goes on.
89 WLS.
931 WLS with the music and Chuck Buell. Gonna make way for Chris Stevens at 10 o'clock tonight. You got it all right, baby. The Big 89 and the Crow. Evil woman, don't play that game with me. I see the look of evil in your eyes.
Now, the Big 89 Rewind continues with...
Jeff Davis, you should have finished it.
From the Rock of Chicago, the Chris Eric Stevens Show.
I just want to say hi to everybody in Chicagoland. My name is Chris Eric Stevens. It's been a while, like a long while. So what am I doing now? Living fast, loving hard, sucking up the sunshine and surf in Southern California. Been hanging out in Los Angeles since I left Chicago, doing voiceovers and all kinds of fun things. Love Chicago and love the people. What a great town. And I hope you're enjoying the Big 89 Rewind.
89 WLS.
WLS Music Radio, it's the Big 89 Rewind. Hi! Remember me? Now, I got to tell you a story about how radio, especially radio back in the day. Nowadays, they have all this technology where there's a lot of radio stations where there isn't even a DJ in the room anymore. It's all the DJs pre-record stuff. But back in the day, you never left a radio station unmanned. And every once in a while, studios would have some problems and things wouldn't work. And right now, Jeff's studio's not working. So Chris gets, I'm just about to walk out the door, and Kipper says, "Can you go back on the air?" Because we need a DJ. Reminds me of back in the day when we'd have the big blizzard. Hey, who's closest to the station? Sheeple, send him in.
Hello.
Visit ATIPT.com.
89 WLS.
Music Radio WLS and Jeff Davis on a day when it's okay to exercise proper feeding and care of your beer gut. And just about everybody's heard of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? Well, in the next 3 songs, there's only 1 degree that separates each of them. We'll tell you what those are. Here's BTO and Let It Ride on WLS. WLS, BTO, and Let It Ride. Man, I love that song. I haven't heard that one in a long time. I'm Jeff Davis. This is the Big 89 Rewind. Now, the 1 degree of separation between that song and this next song is the fact that Randy Bachman of BTO was also the lead guitarist for the Guess Who. Here's Clap for the Wolfman on WLS Music Radio.
Clap for the Wolfman. Clap for the Wolfman.
WLS, I can't believe it. Wolfman Jack and the Guess Who and Clap for the Wolfman. Now, Wolfman Jack used to substitute once in a while on WLS in the afternoons, and when he would sign off, he would march out of the studio with a bevy of girls in a line dance to this song. Here's Love Train on WLS.
All over the world. Jeff Davis, WLS.
For years, this was the sound of people winning on WLS.
You just won $1,000.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Over the years, the sound may have changed, but one constant remains.
$1,000.
Oh, come on.
More than ever, it pays to listen to WLS, especially if you're a WLS insider.
I just signed up as an insider maybe a month or so ago. I was really kind of surprised that I won something so quickly.
These calls were recorded from insider entries online at WLSAM.com.
I need the money. I am shaking.
Become a WLS insider and win with WLS.
I just really always listen to it.
Music Radio WLS, Backstabbers, a little of the Philly soul sound. Love that music. And speaking of music I love, how about a little Queen on WLS? WLS Music Radio, Big 89 Rewind, Freddie Mercury and the gang, and You're My Best Friend. That's Queen. This is the place where you can get your chance to win the Big 89 Rewind prize pack, which includes a commemorative shirt, full-color Rewind mini poster, and a copy of the WLS Lost CDs, 60 CD, that I actually had a lot of fun putting together, featuring such greats as Dex Card, Mort Crowley, and Ron Riley. The audio quality is phenomenal. I can vouch for that. 15th caller at 591-8900. When you hear the WLS touch tones at any second, will be a winner right here from WLS.
564-1560.
Jeff Davis, WLS.
Oh, I'm having so much fun. I got to tell you, there are certain songs that, believe it or not, DJs really like. We like them because we can talk over the beginning of the record. And this is one of them. 5-man electrical band and Signs on the Big 89 Rewind from WLS. WLS Big 89 Rewind. I'm Jeff Davis. You know, in our heyday, when we were broadcasting 50,000 watts, coast-to-coast clear channel, we get calls from all over the United States. There was this thing called a supercube that showed that we had nearly 9 million listeners in 38 states. With the internet now...
And now, more of the Big 89 Rewind with Jeff Davis.
Music Radio WLS Chicago.
Oh, on a great holiday, there's nothing more fun than opening it wide open around the S-curve. Oh, that's right, they got rid of the S-curve, didn't they? Never mind. But listening to Chicago on a holiday, especially with the Big 89 Rewind, it just doesn't get any better. Here's Feeling Stronger Every Day on WLS.
The best music, WLS.
Jeff Davis, Big 89 Rewind, and just like you, we're fans of the radio station. And I got to tell you, I can't wait to hear what John Landecker is going to do tonight after 6 o'clock. Here's a song from 1976, a one-hit wonder from Starbuck called Moonlight Feels Right on WLS. WLS Music Radio, the Big 89 Rewind. I'm Jeff Davis. Now, in case you missed it earlier, the WLS Music Radio special that I hosted will be available by podcast, along with highlights from today's Big 89 Rewind. You know, they let me do that special because they trust me. They also trust me running with scissors in the hallways. I don't get it, but they do. Check back later this week at WLSAM.com, keyword rewind for all the details. I've got to mention, one of the most beautiful souls I've ever known was Yvonne Daniels. She had just an amazing personality, and she had just this incredible talent. And coming up in just a moment, we're going to do a little tribute for her, so stay with us. Next on WLS. All day today, WLS is celebrating the Big 89 Rewind, with a focus on the music and personalities who played it on the station Chicago grew up with in the 70s and 80s. But don't think we've forgotten previous generations of the Big 89.
Just imagine 3 years ago tonight at 9 o'clock, somebody threw a microphone on and bleh.
All day long, whenever you hear the sound of the WLS touch tones, be the ninth caller at 591-8900 to pick up a collector's copy of WLS The Lost 60s CD. Forgotten Hit Favorites, hosted by WLS legends like Clark Webber.
In a folk singing mood, all together now.
Gene Taylor.
Look at that caveman go.
Gene Taylor right now from here until 9 on Tuesday
Chuck
night.
Buell.
With
WLS on a Chuck Buell show.
Mark Roberts.
You've all probably read about how the huge herds of buffalo there.
Dix Card.
Hi again, everybody. This is Danks Carr and the Crew Cat Fell in the
Ron
First.
Riley.
7 days a week between 3 and 6:30 right here on Radio 890 Chicago.
And more. WLS, the Lost 60s CD. Plus a special Big 89 prize pack. Yours at the sound of the WLS touch tones all day today, as the Big 89 Rewind continues on Music Radio WLS. WLS salutes one of the people who helped make the Big 89 even bigger, Yvonne Daniels.
WLS Music Radio 228, Herb Alpert's Rise, number 2 song this week. That's a young virtuoso from Mexico City called Abraham Laboriel playing bass underneath Herb.
Not only was Yvonne the first woman to hold a full-time daily shift on a major top 40 radio station, the First Lady of Chicago Radio also broke barriers as one of the most prominent African-American broadcasters of the day.
WLS Music Radio 232. Just got a hitline request for this one from Midnight Madness. Commodores, if you like your music soft and pretty at this hour of the morning, you got it. This is a gorgeous song. It's called Still.
Sadly, Yvonne is no longer with us, losing a courageous battle with cancer. The city of Chicago recognized her contributions by naming a downtown street in her honor.
You could share over $125,000 in cash and prizes, and maybe get a full year on Easy Street from here.
We proudly salute Yvonne Daniels, a big part of WLS history. Now, the Big 89 Rewind continues with
Jeff Davis, WLS.
Hey! WLS Music Radio, Jeff Davis, congratulations to Victor Margraf of Moni. He is the winner of the WLS Lost CDs, the whole prize pack, the whole thing. Eric Carmen's group, the Raspberries, scored big with Go All the Way on WLS. Music Radio, WLS, Jeff Davis. And coming up, we're going to hear from WLS veteran Chris Eric Stevens, who I understand has a huge voiceover career in Hollywood. He doesn't return my calls. I think he's afraid I'm going to try to borrow some money from him. And coming up next also, music from Supertramp, Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And right now, we're going to let Gil Gross do some news. I got to tell you, Gil Gross is one of those people that I listened to when I was a baby DJ, praying one day that I would get my shot at WLS, and I did. And now you're a big-time network guy, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And you're still a baby DJ.
Yeah, I still am.
Thank you, Jeff.
You got it.
Cloudy tonight. Topping our news at this hour, Memorial Day 2007, President Bush at Arlington.
It's his 5th wartime Memorial Day visit here to Arlington National Cemetery. And President Bush was somber in his tribute to the latest generation of American heroes.
Tens of thousands who have seen war on the battlefield volunteer to re-enlist.
Mr. Bush made no reference to how the war might go in the future. Between his last Memorial Day visit here and this year, 980 servicemen and women died in the war. Vic Ratner, ABC News at Arlington National Cemetery.
In the war today, a suicide bomber in Baghdad kills at least 21 people, and the sectarian murders continue. 36 bodies found today of people who had been handcuffed, tortured, shot to death, their bodies scattered throughout Baghdad. For the first time in 27 years, the U.S. and Iran had diplomatic talks. Both sides said it was positive. The U.S. says what Iran was saying about Iraq was a lot like what the U.S. is saying about Iraq. They're just not sure they mean it. No bond for a Streamwood woman accused of murdering her stepmom. Jennifer Kuiper has that.
Gil Janet Murphy is charged with stabbing her 85-year-old stepmother to death in her Northwest Side home. Authorities say Murphy was taking care of Josephine Schmidt, and the two apparently started arguing over something. It's not clear what. Schmidt was stabbed a bunch of times. Gil Murphy is due back in court tomorrow afternoon.
Joliet police looking around a wooded area near Route 6. A body was found there. That's all they're saying. The two whales who ended up 90 miles upriver in California seem to have their internal GPS back in gear. ABC's Alex Stone.
Marine biologists are optimistic now that the whales are heading back toward the San Francisco Bay. On Sunday, they traveled 24 miles closer to the ocean. They aren't moving quite that quickly any longer, and scientists don't know if the whales will keep moving in the right direction. Boats have been positioned to stop them from going back upriver.
Finally, Miss Universe contest is tonight. If this were really the 1970s, you'd care. It isn't. You don't. Traffic and weather next. WLS News Time 429.
We are talking with WLS Traffic. I'm Tom Kelly.
I just want to say hi to everybody in Chicagoland. My name is Chris Eric Stevens. It's been a while, like a long while. So what am I doing now? Living fast, loving hard, sucking up the sunshine and surf in Southern California. Been hanging out in Los Angeles since I left Chicago, doing voiceovers and all kinds of fun things. Yeah, I've been doing all those voiceovers, you know. Love Chicago and love the people. What a great town. So thanks for everything, Chicago, especially those memories. And hope all is well in your world. And I hope you're enjoying the Big 89 Rewind.
Jeff Davis, WLS. The Big 89 Rewind. Music Radio, WLS.
Jeff Davis, glad to be hanging with you this afternoon. And from this, we can surmise that there's more than one Cornelius brother, but only one sister, and her name's Rose. They don't let her sing a lot, though. Here's Treat Her Like a Lady on WLS. WLS Music Radio, Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose from 1971, just in case you're keeping track. I'm Jeff Davis. More music coming up in seconds. Some nice little surprises for you. And, of course, the Big 89 Rewind continues on WLS Music Radio.
Hi, Rick Edelman here, host of The Rick Edelman Show.
800-588-2305.
Today.
Chicago's favorite music radio, WLS.
Well, if you have to make a beer run right now, you're drinking too fast. A public service reminder from the Big 89. Here's Earth, Wind, and Fire and Shining Star on WLS.
Hey, what your life can truly be.
WLS Contest Memories.
Hello?
Hello, is this Pam Larson?
Yes, it is.
Pam, what's your favorite radio station?
WLS Music Radio.
You just won a Magnavox videotape recorder.
I just won one. I did.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
It's all yours. Valued at $1,000.
$1,000? Thank you.
Well, Pam, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great way to get into the new season of TV shows. It's all yours, furnished by Playback, the electronic playground.
Oh, marvelous.
This was recorded from entries you've sent us. It's your chance to play it again from Chicago's favorite, WLS.
WLS Big 89 Rewind and Jeff Davis. And sometimes we poor DJs get so confused. For instance, Wang Chung has no Asians in the group. They're from London. And then, of course, there's this bullfrog named Jeremiah. WLS Big 89 Rewind and Jeff Davis. So you can see how, being a radio personality, you have to have certain skills of perception. Maybe not. WLS Music Radio with your chance to win a Big 89 Rewind prize pack, including a commemorative T-shirt, full-color Rewind mini poster, a copy of the WLS Lost 60 CD featuring such greats as Dex Card, Mort Crowley, Ron Riley's in there. 15th caller at 591-8900. When you hear the touch tones, any second now will win from WLS. By the way, this also features such greats as Clark Webber, Bernie Allen, Dick Biondi, and it's as easy as a phone call. What can I say? Thanks for joining WLS for the Big 89 Rewind all day today. Now, if you grew up with music radio, but maybe haven't tuned in much lately, we'd like to welcome you back and tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do today as Chicago's talk station.
Go ahead, folks.
Rush Limbaugh.
Be honest. Admit it. You are addicted to this show.
Rush.
The only healthful addiction known to exist in all the world.
Might as well face it, you're addicted to Rush. Gonna have to face it, you're addicted to Rush.
That's how groovy this stuff can be, folks.
Get addicted. Weekdays at 11.
You have been warned.
On 890 AM WLS.
Hey,
WLS News.
And now, more of the Big 89 Rewind with Jeff Davis.
Music Radio WLS Chicago.
Well, just seconds ago, Rich Dempsch from Skokie won our WLS Big 89 Rewind prize pack. You didn't win, don't worry, don't be sad. We're going to do it in just a bit again. Here's the Eagles on WLS.
Music Radio WLS.
Big 89 Rewind, Jeff Davis, spending time with you on this wonderful Memorial Day. Stevie Wonder, arguably probably one of the most prolific songwriters of the latter half of the 20th century, gives a little nod to Duke Ellington with Sir Duke on AM 89 WLS. Music Radio WLS Big 89 Rewind coming up tonight at 6. The triumphant return of John Records, truly is his middle name, Landecker, with a special edition of Boogie Check. Then Tom Kent comes up at 10 o'clock, all part of the Big 89 Rewind on Music Radio WLS. And I'll tell you what, we're going to do a little tribute to Steve King in a moment. Steve King had held the late night shift before I took it, and one of the most gracious talents that I had a chance to work with, and very enjoyable time working with him, and he took me under his wing, being kind of a younger kind of guy. To rub that in. And we got more music coming up in just a few short seconds, so stay with us. WLS.
Listening WLS, saluting the people who help make the Big 89 even bigger. Steve King.
10 o'clock with Steve King. Somebody else, a radio station you listen to, say WLS, you can win a sailboat, a 10-speed, or a Chevy Monza Town Coupe. 10:03 with Steve King. Hitlines opener 591-3045 at WLS Music Radio. Coming up in this hour, having this hour's WLS Pepsi book cover number. It's worth a Wilson T2000. Jimmy Connor's Mental Racket. This guy's working on a new LP and planning a new tour. Beach Boys, wouldn't it be nice? At WLS. My, things must be looking up. Aerosmith and Fleetwood Mac, back to back on WLS. What is AM radio coming to?
Now, the Big 89 Rewind continues with
Jeff Davis, WLS.
WLS Big 89 Rewind and Jeff Davis. Jim Morrison is still alive and working with Elvis at a Burger King in Lincolnwood. Oops, false alarm. It's the Doors. Love Her Madly on WLS. WLS Music Radio and Jeff Davis Big 89 Rewind. One of the things I want to mention is that programming like this kind of event today requires that a whole bunch of people do a lot of stuff. It's technically very difficult as well, but we have so much help from different people. I'd like to thank RealRadio.com for supplying us with some archive audio, and it's very valuable that We thank them and other people who get us audio because there are so many collectors out there that have some things that we might not have. One of the people that has been so good about maintaining WLS history and making sure that certain things are preserved is a guy named Scott Childers. Scott, tell us about your website.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you about WLShistory.com, which we started shortly after you did the big 6-hour celebration. That was the 75th anniversary celebration, right?
Right.
Yeah, and we kind of just started to cobble together the archives, put together what we had, and it's grown from there. And it's been a fantastic ride. And I'll tell you what, you learn so much about what goes on at this amazing facility. And not only from the music radio years, but from the talk years that we're in right now, as well as before into the Prairie Farmer days. And it's so much fun. And it's a labor of love, and I have a great time putting it together, and you're a lot of help. And I'll tell you, it is a fun day today, isn't it?
It really is. One thing I want to mention, too, is that if you've got some audio out there or some kind of collectible that you think we might be interested in, get in touch with us because we want to see it. Nothing is too vague. Nothing is too meager because we want to know about it. There's a lot of stuff that may seem unimportant to you that's very important because we may not have it.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a couple stories that we've told several times before where the past has been thrown away several times here, back in 1960 and then again in the 80s as well. And it does seem trivial, but that is not recoverable once it's gone. And we always like to have it. And with the reach of this radio station, it's unbelievable where people will come out of and find things. And that's what helps keep it going, and that's what helps bring it to you so you can relive all the great memories that we're reliving today.
And the station's been on since 1924, so there's a lot of stuff out there that we'd really love to see if you have it.
Not too many original listeners left, though, I don't think. I hope. You never know, though.
Dusty, maybe. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Thank you, Jeff. Great job today.
Thank you very much. It's a lot of fun. We've got more music coming up in just a few short seconds with Maxine Nightingale. Oh, man, I can't wait to play Undisputed Truth, Smiling Faces Sometimes, a classic. That's coming up next on WLS.
To your husband.
WLS News.
Hi, this is Dick Biondi, one of the original rock and roll crew at the Big 89 way back in 1960. And now you can hear me spinning the oldies every weeknight on True Oldies 94.7. But today, I hope you're enjoying the Big 89 Rewind on the Chicago station where hit radio began.
Jeff Davis, WLS.
Jeff Davis, the Big 89 Rewind.
Smiling faces, sometimes they don't tell the truth. You can sing along with this if you want to. It's Undisputed Truth and Smiling Faces on WLS. Music Radio, WLS, Undisputed Truth, Motor City music from 1971. I'm Jeff Davis. Coming up next, music from Steve Miller Band. Going to play some music from Robert Palmer as well. And coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, just a sparse few minutes from now, John Records Landecker takes to the airwaves. You're going to hear him do some stuff that you probably haven't heard except recorded in a long time, and he'll be doing it live. And that's coming up on WLS. If you grew up listening to Music Radio WLS, you know that the station was no stranger to hosting great parties and events. Now, although the station you grew up with has grown up with you, we can still throw a heck of a party. Here's the latest. The Rokon Show with breaking news and conversation, plus an occasional concert, too.
Jim Peterick from the Ides of March and Survivor. To bring this band of rock stars in, other than maybe to steal stuff from the office.
Mainly to steal stuff from the office.
And play us out now.
E flat minor. I'm your vehicle, baby.
Rokon Rocks. Afternoons at 2 on Chicago's Rock Talk Station. 890 AM WLS.
Music Radio, WLS.
Come on, you know you want to do it. Oh. Here we go. Steve Miller Band. Take the money and run on WLS. WLS, the Big 89 Rewind, and Jeff Davis. Oh, yeah. It feels really good to hear this one again. There are just some records that are DJ favorites. I think maybe you have to sit in this chair to understand it. I don't know. Robert Palmer and Addicted to Love. Just thinking about that video, come to think of it. It's hard to concentrate. WLS.
Remember this sound? The sound of people winning great prizes from WLS.
Wow, can't believe it.
Cash.
Great.
Cars.
Fantastic.
Motorcycles, boats.
Yeah.
Become a WLS insider and win with WLS.
Woo! WLS Big 89 Rewind. Love that song. I haven't heard that in a long time. It's in my personal collection, but you know how it is? It's so much easier to have someone else play it for you. Jeff Davis with you, and it has been such a great time. I've really enjoyed it. John Landecker's coming up in just a few minutes, and we're going to play some more music for you as well. That's next on WLS.
Time is Illinois Education Association.
Celebrate the first day of summer with the first great party of the season as WLS Radio presents the Rokon Show, Summertime Booze. Friday, June 22nd at Chicago's legendary House of Blues. Spend the longest day of the year with Ro, along with Jim Johnson, Bill Leff, Christina Filiaggi, and special guest Rick Springfield. I know Rick Springfield. I met him on the boat when he came over way back when. Live music by the Play Doctors featuring Kim Hayes. Or is that Kimmy Hayes? The event is free, but by invitation only, so watch your email for details and the latest WLS Insider newsletter. And tune in the Rokon Show weekday afternoons from 2 till 7 for your chance to be our guest. The Rokon Show live at the House of Blues Friday, June 22nd. The only cure, summertime booze.
So come down and wander to the House of Blues. We got your cure with a summertime booze.
From Seattle to Boston and Chicago to Miami, this is the home of the greatest radio stations ever recorded. Airchecks.com.